And we are live. Hello, everyone. Trying something a little bit new today, this week. I'm trying to multicast to YouTube and to Twitch as well. We'll see how that works out. Waiting for some feedback in text from somebody. Either way, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending upon where you are in this fine world. If this multicast doesn't end up working, I'm going to just go ahead and turn it off on Twitch. But I just been trying to improve the live stream. I've been trying to improve my channel overall. So yeah, you can see that I've made a few changes as time goes along. Okay, well, it looks like I am going to have to turn off the Twitch feed and let's see here. Okay, sorry about that. I'll just have to work on that more this week. 1 minute. Okay, sorry about that. I had somebody monitoring the other Twitch feed, and I guess I'm just going to have to go ahead and work on that this week. This was something I had kind of come up with over the last day or so and just wanted to try it out. I tried a dock in OBS called item to multi-stream, and it doesn't seem like it worked too well, but it might be on my end as far as settings go and everything like that. So I'll look into that. Either way, we are now live. I appreciate you for dropping by and spending a little time with me. If you're new to the stream, we talk Splinterlands, Atlas Earth, basically any kind of Web3 game you want to talk about or play to earn game. We can everybody pitch in their 2 cents worth. Gathering the Magic's here. Good morning. Says he's pushing hard for the end of the season. Yep. We have a little bit less than 2 days left. Looks like I am in Champ 3 in Splinterlands. Hope all is well on your end as well. And I was looking forward to see if KGM was going to be on, which it seems like he is. Jabby Saint says, hey. And Crypto Beaver is in the house as well. Good morning. Appreciate you stopping by. KGM says, hello to everyone. Got power back on last night. Glad to be here. Yeah, I was thinking about you. I was wondering, I've been through the whole hurricane deal many times when I lived down in New Orleans, and I'm out of that path these days as of the last 10 years or so. But I miss certain things about living down there. Hurricane season is not one of them. But when I heard that KGM was affected by the recent hurricanes, if you're out of the United States, you're unfamiliar, the East Coast and the middle, kind of the central up through Tennessee and Kentucky and things like that, North Carolina, have all been affected, and Florida especially, by hurricanes in the last couple weeks. And if you've ever been through a hurricane, some of it is the hurricane itself, but a lot of it is the actual flooding that the hurricane brings. And it's not like this is going to be a stream about weather, but it really heavily impacts people's lives, and it just destroys people's homes and stuff like that. So I was looking forward, hoping that KGM would be on to share his status, and hopefully everything is, everything's, you can't say everything's well because everything is destroyed around you or flooded and you're in the process of rebuilding. But hopefully everybody's healthy. And a lot of times all you can ask when you get through that kind of situation is that, you have your health, because you can rebuild and you can get new stuff, but you can't get new people, friends, and family, right? Okay, let's see what's going on in chat. Gathering the Magic shares, glad you're safe, KGM. Yep, agree. Kazrak, good morning. Raceland's here, good morning as well. And Jobby Saint says, good evening. Yeah, I can appreciate the fact that I have a widespread audience all around the world. So I appreciate you if, no matter the time zone, if you're stopping by to say hello and share a few things, appreciate you stopping by. Paul Taylor's in the house. Howdy. Welcome. Gathering says, has your glint spending buying strategy changed over the last couple seasons? I'm getting ready to change my strategy now that my commons are the level I want. Well, it hasn't really changed. You have a much different strategy than I do. I am looking to max out my cards, whereas you are stopping at a certain plateau, okay? But with that said, once I reach that plateau, then once I max out my commons, then my strategy will change. But I've been kind of I've been putting a little bit more, let's go ahead into items. I've been putting more, right up front, I would be bereft of manners if I didn't give a big shout out to Voazina, a longtime friend of the channel. Voazina had a particularly good week this week, and they sent me over 2 Uriel the purifiers. They noticed that I only had 1 BCX, and if you note on this particular card, which I didn't, since I only had 1 BCX, I don't play this card that often. But if you'll notice at level 2, it picks up healing, which to their point, they pinged me in Discord, picks up healing, so it makes it increases the use case for it a lot more. So thanks go out to Voazina, appreciate it. So right here, we'll just go ahead and let's just go ahead and combine them all. Because why not? That's the purpose, right? So I will be able to level up my Uriel the Purifier, thanks. But I wanted to go ahead and get that out there. But let's go ahead and go back to items. Let's reset and go to Rebellion Rewards. And my commons, well, I think my main point is I do want to max out my commons, but I'm really trying to put a little bit more into my epics, because you know what, to your point, to Gathering's point, that he's made on several of his videos, is that Arachne Weaver, and you know what I'm loving, you guys know that I love Olivia the Brook. Of any of these cards, if you're talking about a card that makes a match interesting, if you can put some white in there, play Olivia the Brook, and it'll spice up. Sometimes you never know. Sometimes I'll throw her in. I'm like, I don't know what this is going to do, but it's going to be interesting. But my main point is, you know what I'm having fun with? Thanalorian Blade, because check this out. It's in life, and I stack that up with, let's go to, where are my, okay, Gladius. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Thanalorian Blade stacked in the same team with Ketrelba Gobson. Oh my. Tell me that doesn't chew some people up. I've been having fun with that as well. I love Ketrelba Gobson. Who doesn't, right? But I just wanted to make that point that along with the Thanalorian Blade, I want to max out all my epics pretty much as soon as possible. Shock Trooper, I haven't found, my Archmage bot has been using this quite frequently. Obviously, we've talked about Halfling Refugee. Great 1-mana card to throw in there whenever you have space, especially those low mana hands where the parameters for the match are melee can hit from any position, and it's low mana. Throw in that Halfling Refugee. I mean, you got 3-4 damage depending upon what level you got. Let's look at that. So if you have this maxed out, that is, check this out, 5 damage with healing. And the only off put is weary, which is just kind of, I mean, if it gets wearied and stops attacking, okay. But if you've got a 12, 13 14 mana match, you've got to throw that in there if melee can attack from any level. And check that out. I mean, even at level 3, it picks up healing. So that's a no-brainer. I guess my overall point is, and I haven't played with Kazi Conjurer much, but my overall point is all of these epics are great, and I'm focusing on epics. So I might, in this next season, when it goes out, when it changes over, I might double down and just like do a lot of epics. So that's as far as what I'm looking at. But yeah, I do want to max out my commons and then my rares so I can focus on the cooler cards, because as you go up, obviously they cost more glint. Okay, so let's get back. Let's see here. Gathering says rares will be next, and then I'll think of buying alchemy potions to try to get gold commons. Shout out to Trash Panda for the gold foil Night Stalker he sent me. Nice. Yeah, Trash Panda is great. So I don't talk about them a lot because in the past they've kind of not wanted me to mention their name much, but appreciate it. Trash Panda is, I think, a friend. I don't know if a friend or a protege of KGM Jam. He's a trucker, or they're a trucker. I'm not sure if it's he or she, but they support. They've sent out stuff to us once in a while. The people that stream just to keep us going, support us, and things of that nature. So we appreciate them. Epics are key, Gathering says. Fire Epic is the only one I haven't used. Yeah, I have to find a good use for this. So the Incendiary at the beginning of round 2 and each following round applies Burning. Burning has a 33% chance to spread to either adjacent unit at the beginning of each round. Then all burning units lose 2 health. Burning can be cleansed. So you really have to. I love the artwork. First off, I love the artwork. Very anime inspired, some of these cards. And I really love the Phoenix there. But you really have to think about how you're going to offset that Incendiary. You're getting an incredibly powerful card, 4 damage, 3 speed, 5 health. Well, that's at level 2. For 2 mana. At max level, at level 3, you also pick up Piercing. But at max level, it does 6 damage with 5 speed for 2 health. So you really have to figure out how you're going to offset that Incendiary. It does say it can be cleansed. So I think that's what's really taking people off and making people think about how they want to play it. Same idea with the Shock Trooper. But I've been having great fun with the Thanalorian Blade, Olivia the Brook, Arachne Weaver, and Halfling Refugee. I use the Night Reaper throwing in there on Earthquake matches. He seems to be doing well, obviously, with higher mana matches. I think you need really to have like 45 mana, maybe 45 mana plus, maybe 40 mana plus to use the Night Reaper in the tanking position. But that's also a pretty good card, I believe. So, Rooney207's in the house. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. Kazrak, I was looking at it twice to make sure I was pronouncing your name correctly. A new person to the channel. Welcome. It's crazy with Jotun, especially in back to basic, obviously. Okay. So I can see that point. Kazrak brings up a good point here. Back to basic removes like in this case, it would remove the Incendiary. In this, it would remove the power. So obviously, one of the strong points to these cards with these offsetting, what's the name of it again? These bad things, right? If you use them in back to basics, you get this great damage without this, default bad thing, right? So sorry, it's just skipping my mind. Gathering says, I thought once exhausted it can't attack again, but it changes every round. Weary. At the beginning of round 1, weary units have a 10% chance to become exhausted. This chance increases by 10% every round up to a maximum of 80%. Exhausted units skip their turn and cannot retaliate. So I would have to look into the discussion on this, but the way I read this is that it slowly gets higher chance to get wearied. And then once it's wearied, it skips a turn, it's exhausted and cannot retaliate. And then the next turn it resets. If I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. Or if you're watching this as a replay, let me know in the discussion below. Let me see here. Jabby Saints says, same here, focusing on the epics. Gathering says, use all my end of season to grab as many epics as possible. Yeah, I mean, let's just do a little bit of a comparison, right? Let's look at legendaries. And I'm not calling legendaries bad, because right off, it seems to me like they use the legendaries here to throw in a bunch of 1 mana cards, which are great, especially primarily in low mana matches, right? And each one of them has the same stats, but has a different power, right? So they use that. And I haven't played with Emberguard. I've used Gallicus a few times. Death Ranger. These look interesting, but these are not cards I have a lot of experience with because I primarily only have them at level 1. Some of them are level 2. I do like Grifsy, but I guess my point is the epics seem to be stronger than the legendaries to me. Now, I may be wrong, and my opinion may change when my legendaries are higher level. So I'll leave that little caveat there. Birds, Bees, and Trees is in the house. Welcome. Good morning. Thanks for dropping by. International Travel Channel. Guten Tag. Olivia the Brook is Jenny from the block. And if you're my age, you get that reference. Yeah, I mean, we had this discussion when it first came out, and she may not be the strongest card in the set, and that's. But you cannot say that she does not spice up the game and make it fun, because from both sides, right? If you throw her out there, you might have a good strategy, but you're still not 100% sure exactly what's going to happen with her. And if you open up and you see her on the other side, then you're probably just putting your hand on your forehead going, I wonder what's going to happen here, So I love cards that kind of change the meta and spice things up a little bit. So Gathering the Magic says dehabilitation. Correct. Thanks. Yeah, so that's the proper term for these powers. They're offsetting. They're dehabilitations. So you get a card which is very high powered for the mana you're spending for it, but you have to put up with the dehabilitation, right? So obviously the power comes in other than using those on back to basics type matches. Finding some offsetting ways to put up with that debilitation into a strategy, right? But I mean, I've used the Halfling Refugee a lot, and it ends up, especially obviously in low mana matches, it ends up being a lot. I haven't really noticed the Weary be a big setback for my matches, right? Gathering says, I'm thinking of learning how to do Hive posts. Is any posting there and have any tips? I don't have any tips. So Birds, Bees, and Trees says, I'm playing my Brawl battles now. You know what? I've done the Brawl battles over on my secondary account. KGM's guild. I usually do those first. I do need to do my main account today. before it gets too much later after this show. Let's see here. Let's see what's going on. I lost one. Looks like so far. So far I've won 3 and I've lost 2. So we got almost 8 hours left. So yeah, if you're in the brawls, get your brawls in. And if you're not, and if you're relatively new to the game, you got to get in a guild. Start fighting your brawls, you know. So let's go ahead and go back to my main account. Yeah, I had this idea of trying to stream to Twitch simultaneously today, but it just didn't work out. I'm going to have to play around with the settings. I did go live, but for some reason the video was black and my audio was very low over there. So let's go to guild. Yeah, I'm in the under new management guild over here on my main account, which is funny because we were previously a guild called the Sammy Snake. Sammy Snake is a guy who I started playing with in Alien Worlds, had bought some land, and that was my first Web3 game I was in on. And he came over here and started a guild, but the thing was he just like never played. And he is building his actual own racing game on Hive. I don't really follow it. But either way, at a certain point last year, maybe a year and a half ago, this guild, he decided he no longer wanted to be part of. I mean, he wasn't doing anything with the guild. So some of the people that are members said, hey, can we just take it over? So he's like, sure, go ahead. They came up with a really weird name. I forget what it was. And some of the members disliked it. So he's like, fine, we'll just call it under new management. And it kind of stuck. So, and we're not the top guild, but we do our best, you know. So I do have to get my brawls in there, and I change up. I've found that I fight better, I think, in silver than gold because I don't have a lot of, I mean, I have a lot of cards are in my gold level, but I don't have a really strong gold deck. And I've found lately that I've been doing pretty good, especially since these new reward cards have come out with the taking the phrase with Chaos Legion and Rebellion. So I will have to get those in. Let's see where we're at this week. Here we are, number 21. Not too bad. We're level 10, so we've been working on it for quite a while. I mean, we've had this guild going since I've been playing, you know, so it's been more than 3 years. So let's go back to ranked play. Okay, let's see what people are saying in chat. Birds, Bees, and Trees says, and I just selected an Olivia. Nice. And I just got a referral bonus in Atlas Earth. Just clicked through. That's also nice. I've been saving up my Atlas bucks for a strategic move in Atlas Earth. Haven't made a big purchase as far as property goes in Atlas Earth for a while because I'm saving up. If you're unfamiliar, Atlas Earth is not a Web3 game. It's a play-to-earn game. That is on mobile that I've been playing and doing videos on. I've got a lot of people subscribed to my my YouTube channel over the last few months. So if you're on and you're hanging out there, you have any Atlas Earth stuff you want to talk about, just let me know. A lot of changes, a game that's been a lot of development in the last year. So I'm having that. Having fun in that as well. I've been watching, you know what I've been watching this week is people play off the grid. This game is getting a lot of hype. Okay, so this is a game. You may have seen people on YouTube playing this, and it's on PS5, Xbox, it's on the Epic Games Store, and it's Web3. It's a huge game. The problem is I'm not very good at first-person shooters. So I was hyped on this game, first real mainstream kind of Web3 game coming out. And I watched Crypto Stash, he's been playing it this last week, and a few other players. And it's been hitting across, because normally you look at gaming across YouTube and the non-Web3 players have a very poor opinion of any game related to cryptocurrency, right? In this channel, this game has, it's looking good. I mean, this is probably, I would have to argue that it's probably the best Web3 type game that I've seen as far as play goes. Doesn't mean, maybe I might do a few streams where I'm really terrible and people can laugh at me, but I know I'd probably just end up banging my head against the desk because I'm doing so terribly. That's why I haven't played it, but I'm also looking at doing a video on a game coming out called Orebound. It is a standard game. It is not, oh, we're over here on my Atlas Earth calculator. It is a standard game, a builder/RPG game. Okay, let's get back into chat and see what everybody's saying. Birds, Bees, and Trees said just selected an Olivia. Nice. I think I leveled up Olivia to level 3. Yeah, my Olivia is on level 3. I need 5 more for level 4. And at level 4, she picks up 1 health. Not extremely, I mean, obviously I want to max her out, but not extremely interesting. Jabby Saint says, Aftersound recently posted a video regarding Hive posting. Nice. The People's Guild and Azrakhan as guest, and they discussed Hive posting too. Nice. Yeah, I think they've been pushing that. You will see that they've been pushing that in Discord. Basically, hey, you know, trying to get the name out there a little bit more. Do some posts. I think they've got a contest around it, right? Just basically to get the Splinterlands name out there. And I think part of it is to, you know, part of it's advertising, right? But part of it is showing Hive how much weight, so to speak, Splinterlands brings to the table, and the value, so to speak, because there's a lot of people that didn't really know anything about Hive until they signed up for Splinterlands. I didn't know anything about Hive until Splinterlands, and then it kind of took off from there. I signed up for Splinterlands. You know, when you sign up for Splinterlands, it automatically creates a Hive account for you, and then from there, I was like, wow, and I started looking at, oh, wow, there's a Decrops game. Well, I think that wasn't my first game. I think Rising Star was my first other game, right? Rising Star. Then obviously I do Golem Overlord stuff. Then I picked up on Decrops, and also this is like a I don't want to say disease, but and then Woo, which I would be happy if I could get a match once in a while. It just keeps failing out. But I think the point is that Splinterlands got me to Hive, and then I realized what else was on Hive, and it just brought more value to Hive. I think that the main point is do some, there's a lot of people that just do strategy, different things about cards, but I think the main thing is getting the Splinterlands name in there and showing other people on Hive where all the Splinterlands players are and what value we bring to Hive, so they can keep supporting us as per what's going on now, right? So Gathering says that was a good discussion. I'll have to listen to it again. I'll have to go back and check it out. I don't think I've listened to that one. Gathering says couple beta packs under $8 if anyone is interested on the market. Kazrak says Atlas Earth is kind of fun. Got 17 plots in the 2 weeks I'm playing now. Sadly, the boost is only good for 1 hour in Germany. That's somewhat annoying. Well, my boost is only good for 1 hour, but you have to watch multiple boosts in a row. So you can stack that up to a maximum of 6 hours. unless you're a member of the Explorer Club. And then now you can stack up to 8 hours. Okay, you're never going to get that perfect 6 hours, but you can get between 5 and 6 hours just depending upon your timing. Jabby Saints says, which one's better, Golem Overlord or Terracore? Well, that's a good question because I do play Terracore, but I played Golem Overlord before Terracore, but Golem Overlord spawned from Terracore, really. They're both from the same kind of code, and I'm not a developer, but actually Yixen, who makes Golem Overlord, and I need to do my attacks. Yixen, who created Golem Overlord, actually played Terracore before, and they're very similar. You know, early on, obviously, in Golem Overlord, I would have said Terracore is the better game. There are some things I like about Terracore better than Golem Overlord, but he's taken Golem Overlord in a lot of different directions. I don't necessarily like this whole conquest thing he's doing. It just seems really weird and way off there. It's if you're not familiar with it, it is a... I'll play a game here. It's kind of like it's not really, I don't want to say chess. There's not, I haven't wrapped my mind around the whole strategy behind it. See if we can get a match here. But they have multiple different kinds of robots that you can put out with different powers and everything. And then then you click on it and it fights your match, and then you get a certain amount of points for it and everything. But it just, a lot of these changes to Golem Overlord seems like things that he just had an idea one night. It's like, oh, it'd be cool if we did this, right? Obviously, a lot of thinking went into it and development, but I would have to say at this point, Golem Overlord. However, all I do in Terracore is really just do my attacks and earn my coins. So we can go. I do need to go ahead and do my attacks. The one thing I do like about Terracore is it gives you a little bit of window of opportunity after you do your attacks to go ahead and do your claim. In Golem Overlord, you can be sniped just like that. You're doing your attacks and you're building up a good bank. Bam! If people are paying attention, there he dodged. They can go ahead and snipe you and pick up a hefty paycheck. Just do these attacks. Let's see here. Joffrey Jones, epic game, better than Warzone. Oh, you're talking back about Off the Grid. Yeah, you brought that up the last couple weeks. That's why I went over and checked it out. And I can understand. I mean, it looks like a very good quality game. It's got a lot of advertising behind it. It's on PlayStation and Xbox. It's on the Epic Game Store. It's got big names and big money behind it. And from the gameplay, it looks very cool if you're into first-person shooters. I haven't wrapped my head around understanding the tokenomics behind it, mainly because I just knew that I won't play it. I might jump in and feel around and play it a little bit, but it's not something I can be serious about because first-person shooters are not really me. So I've got one more attack here. And then I can do my claim. And I do like how this game automatically sorts for you by the best people for you to attack, versus a Golem Overlord. You have to go in and do it manually. But see, I have 332 scrap I can claim there. Okay, jumping back over on Splinterlands. Let's see what everybody's saying. Gathering says, Golem Overlord is a good, mostly passive game. It helps me and some funds to Splinterlands for cards, DEC. Yeah, I can see where you would do that. I am... oh, here we are. Here's this game. And it's very super complicated. So I have to select 6 members for my team. Let's just go ahead and do this really quickly. Let's do... Oh, he's changed the layout on the cards. He's He's bringing forward. This looks nicer. I cannot tell. Okay, so support, damage, damage, damage. I'm trying to do this really fast. Okay, so I want a couple tanks. I don't know. I don't understand how this is sorted. I need another tank. Here's another tank. Okay, so that gives me two tanks. And let's do some damage. Damage. There's so many different stats involved. Damage. Let's throw in one support. And it fell down on me. It took so long to find a match that I was not able. Yeah, it went ahead. I got on another topic. So either way, you just input, and these cards, there's so many different types, and there's so many different stats involved that I have not wrapped my head around the actual strategy to actually do anything. And obviously he's got it marked as pre-alpha. So I think this is just something that he's, he had this idea and he's trying to flesh out. But overall in the game, we're doing pretty well. I mean, we are just hit level 3 in Blueprint Modifier. They have a lot of these things where you can go in with your guild and you are researching to make your stats for your guild, research and different things better. We just picked up, let's go here, Shard Claim Multiplier just went up to level 8, which shards is one of the main cryptocurrencies that you pick up in this game. So we've been focusing on getting more shards, as well as reducing the amount of blueprints it takes to actually research. And the next up, I do want to go ahead and hit reduce. We have this researched out, but I just bit off a large chunk on shard claim this morning, so we have to wait until we can build back up to 53 to finish this research. Either way, there's a lot of different researches you can do in your guild, so we're making good progress, and the guild is coming along. So I'm happy with where we are in this game. So. Take a drink here, get back to questions. But I think my main point is there, I've been using a lot of my part and shard to help towards the research of the guild. But I've always said this, one of the things I like about playing on Hive is you can play several games and you can shift the coins around depending upon buy, sell, depending upon, hey, I want to pack over here, I want to pack over there. You can sell off over on Hive Engine and trade around. Rooney207 says, I believe September may be the turning point for Web3 public opinions. Web2 folks are finally embracing Web3. Well, I've said this before. I guess my thought process is that it's only going to take one or two big companies to actually get in there and start doing it. And this is real progress, seeing this on Xbox and PlayStation. I'm not a console player, okay? But just like I'm not a primary mobile player on mobile phones. But that doesn't mean that I don't understand the importance and that there are a lot more people playing console and mobile games on phones and tablets than there are people playing on PCs. I understand. I'm a relic. I'm a graybeard. I'm a PC gamer, died and true. I've been PC gaming since there really has been affordable PCs, since I was old enough to afford a PC, right, when I got out of the Navy. And I still feel better playing a game on a PC. But with that said, if you can hit the mobile audience and you can hit the console audience, and to hit, I think the center of my main opinion there is to hit the console audience, you have to have a big name brand behind you to get on Xbox and PlayStation. Okay, and that game, I think one of the main topics, and I haven't played Off the Grid. We're still discussing Off the Grid here. I haven't played the game specifically because it's a first-person shooter, but I can understand that those are very popular games, primarily with people younger than me. Although there are people, I'm trying to make excuses for not being great at first-person shooters, I guess. But it's not necessarily a game type I enjoy. I enjoy role-playing games. I enjoy ARPGs like Diablo, things of this nature. I enjoy, from time to time, building games. I enjoy card collecting games like Splinterlands and Magic the Gathering and things of this nature. But I think overall my main point is you get some of those major companies that bite off on this, and EVE Online is also got one that's coming out. Another major company. Now, it's not going to be on console, not that I know of, but they have another, they have a Web3 game that they announced. See if this will load for me. EVE Frontiers. And of course, this is my account page, but let's go to the welcome page. I know it's just, you know, I'll just put that up there. But if you are into space games, EVE Online is coming out with one, saying a lot. But there's a lot happening in Web3. And I think that over the last few months, we've really seen an increase in quality to the games that are available on Web3. And I think in my brain that the key here, as in off the grid, being ultimately, we'll see if it's successful or not, is that they're making the Web3, the crypto part of it, not needed technically. It's like you can do that part of the game if you want to, but you're not mired down. If you just want to jump in and you just want to play the gameplay, buy some skins, get some cool looking guns, knock heads, blow people up, get headshots, things like that, jump around like maniac, then you can do that. But if you want to get into the crypto part, then you can as well. So Joffrey can put a little bit more commentary on that because I think they're playing it. See what else everybody's saying. Raceland says, what you got going on in D-Crop's farm? Well, I've been picking up plots of land. I just picked up another rare. I've just been sticking with rare, and I've been buying a few, 1 or 2 crops per season just to flesh out everything. At this point, I do have, in most cases, I have like 4 of each of the common and rare. I don't have a whole lot of legendary crops due to obviously prices, but I do have some. But I have enough to where I can do, you know, have 4 of each, so I can keep these rotating through. I also have. This is spring, and I do have, it is my olive trees are in season, which I bought on the Splinterlands promotion, so you can collect those every 24 hours, which are nice. Trees are relatively expensive in game. I would like to specialize in trees, but they're pretty expensive. So I keep going, and I make a little bit of progress each season. So not something to do a lot of coverage on, but it's fun. It's a farming game, you know. And he keeps adding and updating things. So a lot of these games we play have very small teams as far as development teams go. So let's see what's going on here. Rooney207, maybe a few more people will post on Hive if Azrakhan doesn't downvote as many. Well, yeah, I'm not... I would say that, you know, just get out there and post. I mean, if you've got some Hive power, just post something about the game you're playing on Hive, you know. Splinterlands, obviously they're trying to push Splinterlands, but if you're having fun with another game, post that. It'll help that game out. And spread your Hive power around, or, you know, I think their major post on, you know, Discord talking about posting more is to get that Splinterlands name out there and show them how much it's affected Hive, you know. Zula Buds in the house. Welcome. New name. Haven't heard that name before. Thanks for dropping by. Which is the best Bitcoin wallet to use? I'm thinking if trying D-Crops. Well, I can't say it's the best, but I use the Ledger series. And I have a few. Let me say this, that if your Bitcoin, or for that matter, and I'm not a crypto expert, but I've been doing it for quite a while, and I do know that if your crypto is not on your cold wallet, sitting in your home, in your hopefully you have a fire safe or something or other where you protect your things in case of a fire in your home, or in a bank deposit box or something like that. Especially if you have a lot, I would put it on a cold wallet and I would put it in a safety deposit box. I don't have a huge amount, but I do have multiple for different purposes. And I guess my main point is if you have crypto and it's on a wallet on the internet, it's not really yours. You need to have it on a cold wallet, disconnected from the internet, and then it's yours. Okay. Unless you're using it for a specific purpose, like you're drawing interest off of it. Some places have like earn. So I use Gemini, and there's a whole story behind that. I do have links in my show notes of most of my shows about that if you want to check out the Gemini, which is it's not just a wallet, it's like a bank, so to speak, where you buy, sell, trade cryptos. But they used to, this is a different topic for a different thing, but either way, check out Gemini from the link in the show notes if you want to check out a good service to hold your crypto. But I'm in no way a crypto expert, so I've had good luck with them though. And Raceland says, I enjoy decrops. International Travel Channel says, don't forget to harvest your olive trees and decrops this season. Exactly. Yeah, I brought that up. I've been trying to remember to harvest every day. Yeah, the trees and decrops to me is like the best thing, right? But they are kind of expensive. They're the best thing because you can harvest them once per day, right? And get the fruits. Most of them are fruits, you know. But the rest of the vegetables have a certain amount of time. You can see like these potatoes took 7 days or whatever, 10 days on the cauliflower and whatever. And it takes that long before you can harvest them. Whereas the trees, you can harvest once per day. But they're relatively expensive. Okay. Kazrak says, wasn't aware you could stack the boost. That's a game changer. Thanks a ton. Yeah. And that's one of the main things that they tried to help, get more people subscribing to the, we're over on Atlas Earth now, subscribing to their club, because now the club members can stack up to 8 hours, which is better. So you don't have to wake up in the middle of the night. I don't specifically wake up in the middle of the night to renew my boosts on Atlas Earth. If I happen to wake up, I'll roll over and I'll watch the little commercial or let the commercial play and keep the boost. But yeah, definitely stay boosted. Stack those up as much as possible. Keep watching the boost commercials until your little boost button turns gray, and you'll know you're stacked up. Let's see here. Jabby Saints says, thanks for the feedback regarding Golem Overlord and Terracore. Quite welcome. Joffrey says, how come Splinterlands is not on Epic Games Store? Good question. Rooney207 says, I don't play off the grid either. I think it's good to follow their token, AVAX, Beam, Super, etc. Then that could benefit in a bull cycle. Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the major things about following Web3 games is you don't necessarily have to play it. I mean, I'm sure there are people that have Splinter Shards and DEC, and they have them staked and whatever, and they don't play the game, right? They're just investors. Same thing applies to any game. If you see that it looks like, you know, and not investment advice, right? I always say that because I don't want somebody to go broke and come back and say, oh, you told me to do it. But yeah, I mean, you could buy tokens in a game that you're not necessarily playing and buy, sell, trade them, right? Make a little bit of profit. Who knows? I seem to be great at not making profit, but I try to have fun and, you know, do videos about the stuff I'm doing. So Gathering says, anyone getting ready for when Chaos rotates out of Modern? I am starting to build my Rebellion summoners up. Commons to start, legendaries are too expensive. Yeah, the Rebellion is just too expensive for me. I know there's a lot of discussion about this, and I know that I know that the team members want the value and prices of the cards to go up. Obviously, I want the game to do well, but there's a certain point at which I got to say I just can't spend that much money on a game. You know, I've already got $10,000 plus in this game, and if I go over to the market and I go to card sales. Let's refresh this, and let's go to Rebellion, Core, and then Summoners. Okay, so I have some of them. I have a few of them, but I don't have them maxed out. One of the most popular ones these days is Eternal Tofu, very popular card. It's going at just under $60 for one BCX, right? And if you want a max level, that's 11 BCX, you know. So that's 11 times, you know, whatever. You can't even get 11 BCX at $57. They go up very quickly. And, you know, I know this is the most popular, but you go back and you look at Underboss, you know. So here's level 6, $32. Relatively decent there. But the prices go up very quickly. And to your point, I have not. I bought some... well, let's go back to my items, and we can see that these are the ones I have. I have 3 of them at level 6, which I bought specifically to use and also to put on my battle wagons. But I got one of the squirrels for one of the drops, but that's all I bought. And you know, when Chaos cycles out of Modern, I just have no hope of playing in Modern unless I rent cards. Because the cards are going to be so expensive. And even the current ones where you go to, let's see here, let's go to the market and go to, no, it's card rentals. Either way, you get my point. Here we go. Match. Archmage is getting ready to play a match. Birds, Bees, and Trees says, thank you for your service. Quite welcome. Thank you. I mean, it's been quite a while. I did 6 years in the Navy back whenever I was a much younger man with not a gray beard, but it changed my life a lot, and it made me grow up fast. And I also met my wife while I was in as well. So I think it positively, there's some bad sides of being in the service, but it positively affected my life in the big picture of things. So. Rooney207 says, it will be interesting once these first-person shooter games arrive on the metas, AR and VR gear. Yeah, definitely. I cannot really wear VR gear for a long time because I have to wear glasses, and it just kind of makes me a little bit motion sickness. But it's definitely cool because we're watching this evolve very quickly, right? And they're getting better and better. Joffrey Jones says third-person shooter. That would be Off the Grid. Yep. Birds, Bees, and Trees says, when's the next town hall? I don't know. It was a couple weeks ago, the last one, so I think they're doing them once a month. I can't answer that specifically. Joffrey says, you earn the gun token by playing, and you use it in the marketplace or cash it out in our mobile guns wallet. Excuse me. So that's another thing, while we're on the topic, that I've noted with several games I've been checking out lately, is these games are developing their own mobile wallets. And that's kind of how they found their way around having to have something like Hive Engine or something like that. They developed their own wallet where it's a specific mobile app you download, and you can get the coins and work with your crypto through their specific wallet. Of course, that kind of narrows down what you can actually do with that token, and it kind of, I'd have to jump into it further, but you have to get that token off of those wallets might be a little bit more difficult. Who knows? Either way, you can work through. I can think of like 3 separate games lately that I've played that had their own, build out their own mobile wallet just specifically to handle their tokens, right? So, good point though. Raceland says, I got to build some new equipment soon for cooking. I have not got into cooking in Decrops. So in Decrops, obviously it's a farming game, but there's some subsystems, part of the games where you can build things and cook things and then use the food, buy the food, use it for certain things. Cook foods out of raw ingredients that you grow and then sell the foods for more than what you put into them, etc. And then you have to build what you're going to, like the stove and stuff like that you're going to cook with. So there's whole subsystems within things like that. So I haven't got into that though. Let me know how it goes. Rooney207 says Decrops does have a plus EV payout. Yep, I'm trying to get there. I am almost... Okay, you can get lucky spins at 25,000 crop power. I'm not quite there. But you can also get a Hive payout when you hit 20,000. And holding rewards. Okay, so the reward pool is 41, almost 42,000 Hive. The next drop is 104 Hive. It's basically boils down to 11%. So I'm at 19,000 crop power. Probably next season I'll probably go over the 20,000 because I've been buying like 1 rare plot per season and then a few crops. So just slowly, it's just been slowly going, so. Okay, let's see here. We are closing in on the bottom of the hour. Let's see what everybody's closing out with here. Rayson says, I'm playing Sunflower Land on Polygon as well. Another farming game, way more interactive than Decrops, less idle. Cool. Rooney207 at Raceland, earnings is better on Decrops versus Sunflower. Rooney207 says Tangem wallet is probably the best overall. I don't have an opinion on that. I can't opine on that. International Travel Channel says, have you seen the new starter pack on Decrops? I have not. I will have to look into that and let you know next week. Raceland says at Rooney207, I can't really compare yet as I've only been reinvesting in the Sunflower Land to build my farm and progress my land NFT. I'll have to take a look at that. Not that I'm bereft of games to play. I've got so many different games I'm trying to keep my fingers in, but I always like cool new games. Raceland says, Decrops is cool, though, because you can earn Hive payouts for holding rewards. Yeah, I like that. It's just taken me a while to stack up. You can see that I'm at 292. Once in a while, I talk to See You in Lum, who reaches out once in a while, who's the top holder in the game. But as you can see, you can draw in some Hive, and obviously it's better or worse depending upon what Hive's doing lately. Okay. Raceland says, generally, though, you have to invest much more in Decrops to get results, progress account than Sunflower Land. Yeah, that's why it's well, I don't know anything about Sunflower Land, but it's taken me a while to build things up because I basically just put in a little bit. Whenever I have a few extra Hive, I'll buy an extra crop or an extra land or something like that. Rooney207 says, when Chaos cycles out of Modern, I will stop playing in that league. I've heard a lot of people talking about this, and I've said this a few times. I really think that when Chaos Legion cycles out, there's going to be a heavy effect on the game. And I can't tell you where it's going to go, but and a lot of people, I do know, back to my point earlier in the discussion, that they're trying to drive the prices and the value up of cards, and I understand that. But at the same point, I feel that there has to be some cheaper cards for new players to the game, okay? And that is Chaos Legion. When we talk cheap cards, that's Chaos Legion due to the overprinting, right? But when Chaos Legion, and they're trying to, the new player experience is guiding them straight to modern, right? But when Chaos Legion cycles out and the cheap cards that are available to new players are Chaos Legion, then they will have to play in Wild, right? So that's going to be the interesting part there. And I think there just has to be, obviously the fallback answer is that they new players need to play and get rewards cards, which will help them play in modern. But I think right off the bat, a new player coming in, they see the expense of what Rebellion and the newer card set is going to be. It's a tough nut to crack, right? So I can understand the team wanting the card values and prices to go up. But at the same time, if you're trying to onboard a lot of new players, I think the answer there is just like these other games, like we were talking about off the grid, is you have to have a way for people to play and really get into liking the game before having to throw $5,000 into the game, right? My financial journey's here. Welcome. Are you still playing Rising Star? I'm approaching 500K fans after a couple years' time. I am playing it, but I don't play it a lot. I mean, I play it on a daily basis, but I only go in and do my missions. And for some reason today, I'm getting this error. Only one account is allowed per user IP address. And I have not, due to me being busy doing other things this morning, I have not addressed this, but I do have to go back and see what this error is going on about. So I go in and I do a few missions. I have not progressed a lot through the game. I guess I have not wrapped my head around exactly what you need to do to advance in the game. I mean, I'm not at starter level, right? I've bought a few people and a few members, and I've bought some vehicles, and I've bought some instruments and stuff like that. But I just go in and I do my missions, few missions here and there during the day. So I'm not really heavily invested in the game. It's just something I keep going. Rooney207 says, Rising Star is free money, just not a lot. Yeah, it's true. Rooney also says, at Bronze Dragon Game, there will be AR, VR glasses with your vision. Hopefully. Hopefully we can turn that corner and where we can do VR without, for some people that have like, need glasses and stuff, and that doesn't make you seasick or whatever. Gathering says, thanks for the stream. Stay the course. Yeah, we are over time, so we will wrap it up here. Gathering says, thanks for the stream. Stay the course. Keep on forging and have fun, everyone. See you next week. Birds, Bees, and Trees says, how much glint do you and anyone else have saved up for the season or total? I have only 95K plus 20 for season. Looks like I'm going to end up somewhere around 120,000 probably for season end, and that'll put me up around 300,000 somewhere with my rewards, and we'll get on an episode and spend that on epics probably. Rooney207 says new players will probably opt to play in Wild as Chaos Legion will be significantly cheaper. They'll pay the season fee. There you go. I agree with that. Bolts85, you just joined just in time for me to end the stream, but thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. If anybody hasn't watched, Bolts85 has a YouTube channel, and also KGM Jam has a YouTube channel, and Gathering the Magic has a YouTube channel. So they all cover YouTube stuff as well, or YouTube stuff. Splinterlands stuff as well as some other things. So go out and check them out if you haven't. Bolts85 brings a lot of energy, a lot more energy than my gray beard can muster. And Raceland says, send a little something on D-Crops. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. As always, I appreciate everybody for stopping by, but we're going to go ahead and call it quits for right now. I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy, and have a good week. Shout out to KGM Jam. Hopefully everything's going well with you and your family and friends in the affected hurricane area. If anybody else is affected by the hurricane, I hope everyone is doing well and that your repairs are going soon. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.